Okay, welcome to the second segment. Welcome to the second segment of the Catalyst UG live podcast. You're here with Manzi Warren. I'm your host for this conversation, or at least I'm one of your hosts for this conversation. Alongside me is a beautiful, very charismatic, very fashionable. I mean, she's very many things in just one, just one lady. But I'll allow her to introduce herself. Yes.
Thank you very much, Manzi. Thank you very much, Manzi, for that lovely introduction. My name is Apollot Linda Grace. I'm a law student, and I'm very excited to be here to have this conversation about mental health. Oh, are you going to talk about that?
Auntie, you have now you've given them everything.
Okay, get into it.
I wanted to do a trailer, small trailer before we get into it.
I'm just too excited to talk about it.
You have spoiled anyway. It's okay.
It's okay. Kale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just excited to be here to be talking about mental health, especially in Men's Mental Health Awareness
Yeah, it's
Month.
June. Woo! Do the men even know that it's Men's Mental Health?
Do you guys know that it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month?
You
Even
know?
the ladies here know that.
Or do the ladies know it more than the gents know it? Is that true? Gents, first defend yourself. First defend yourselves. Anyway, continue, yeah, Linda.
Yeah, so I'm generally just excited to be here, to be having this conversation, especially with you.
With me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a good time to have a conversation.
Always a good
with you.
time,
And
yeah.
with all these lovely, amazing people that I'm seeing here in the audience.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what each and every one of you has to say. Yeah.
Me too. I can't wait. I can't wait to have this. Okay. I can't wait to have this conversation with you, because I feel like I'm in a very tricky spot, right? It's men's mental health, and it's an unpopular opinion amongst the men, right? And it requires a certain level of vulnerability,
Yeah.
a certain level of openness, and those are not things that are synonymous with masculinity. So I just wanted us to start off from a very basic, very easygoing, very, nothing too scary, nothing too vulnerable.
Yeah.
I just want to coin the question.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. We are moving slowly, right?
Yeah.
Process by process, right?
Yeah.
What comes to your mind, or what is your unpopular opinion in regards to men's mental health?
Okay, I think it's a two-part question,
Yeah.
right? So I think I'm going to start with what do I understand by mental health? Then maybe I get into what's my unpopular opinion about mental health. Is that okay?
And also, before you get into it, audience, please prepare your answers.
For the same question.
For the same question. We can't be doing the exam alone.
Imagine.
What do you mean?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
prepare your answers as you just give us a preamble. Yeah.
Okay, so when I think of mental health, I think of well-being, your psychological and emotional well-being. So now that we're talking about men, I think of, are men okay? Like generally, are you okay?
That's a big word. What do you say? Men okay?
Manzi.
That's a very big word. Define.
So yeah, when I think of mental health, think of the psychological and emotional well-being. And now that we're talking about men, I think of men's psychological and emotional well-being. Are they okay? Are they, when someone asks you the question, how are you? Do you get what I mean?
Very deep question.
Exactly. So that's basically what I think of when I think of mental health. Now, my unpopular opinion about men's mental health is, are you guys ready to hear my unpopular opinion?
Are you guys ready? I want to hear some enthusiasm. Are you ready?
Are you guys ready?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, my unpopular opinion is, can I get some drum rolls, please? For my unpopular opinion? Okay, my unpopular opinion about men's mental health is anger is a more acceptable emotion for men than vulnerability.
Otyo? Kadem wako?
Nkadem? Kale ka nkadem. Anger is a more acceptable emotion for men than vulnerability? Manzi.
Maybe
Cut
before,
it.
before I know I don't want
Has it
to
set?
put myself in hot
In
water.
hot soup earlier.
I want someone in the audience to give us their take on that.
Okay, let's have it. Let's have it. What do you guys think? Should we start from the back?
The backbenchers.
The backbenchers.
I want to think we are not seeing.
Alvin? Okay.
Alvin. Let's
Alvin, let's see you.
Let's give him some love.
Hello everyone. Am I supposed to comment on her unpopular opinion?
Yes.
Oh.
But before you comment on my unpopular opinion, first tell me what you understand by mental health.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Well, as you said it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My understanding of mental health is let me say one's well-being mentally, right? But now coming to your unpopular opinion,
Yeah.
in regards to what? Society-wise or
Just the way you hear it. Just the
Oh.
way you hear it. What comes to your mind? Like when you're thinking about men, is anger a more acceptable emotion for you guys than vulnerability? When you think about it.
acceptable?
Yeah, like it's more acceptable within your groups, within your social settings to be angry than it is for you to be vulnerable and share about stuff that's affecting you.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Tell us more, tell us more.
Well, anger from a long time ago. anger has been.
You are dead.
No, okay. From a long time ago, anger and men have been like this, right?
Synonymous.
Yeah, synonymous.
Okay.
So, but recently, right? If you observe correctly, when men are in their groups, you will observe that minus anger, men actually share their feelings amongst each other.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Ask Manzi. Even when we're
You know
together.
what?
Yes.
Please, do not include me in this.
No. Manzi, it's
this
okay.
conversation.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
After here, we will
After
talk
here,
about
we'll
it.
talk about it.
Don't worry. Regardless of what they think, we'll talk about it.
We talk about it. Yeah.
We're not just angry people. We share our emotions amongst each other. When we know, we are not going to be judged. Thank you.
Okay. I think we should hear from some more men. Like 2 more or 3 more? 2 more men. Maybe some ladies as well. Jael, do you have something to say on the unpopular opinion? She has it. Okay, we're going to come to her after we hear from 2 more men. Yeah.
She told me, she whispered
In regards to the mental health generally, I think many people or the society in general paints a picture of men being vulnerable as being weak. So let's say the men that you see today act the way they act. Yeah, so people are unable to show their true self. Yeah.
Before we move on to the next person, right? You've just said something very. I just want to get into that, right? You said that's why they act the way they act. So get into that. How do they act, right? Just tell us a bit more about that.
How do they act? Eh? I feel like for everyone it's different, but maybe for the majority it's they bottle down the feelings, and then maybe I guess it's everyone has a breaking point. Those feelings will eventually come out one way or another, but most of them just bottle them down.
I think maybe to go off on a tangent on what he has said, right? I want us to be able to appreciate something. We're talking about vulnerability. I'm hearing the word vulnerable coming up and about, yeah, in terms of this conversation, right? But I want us to be able to help me understand me as a person. Vulnerable as a man. Is that possible in this day and age, right? Because the vulnerable man, right, is going to be called weak, right? Amongst his peers,
I know.
right? And me and Alvin, we are different. We're now in the 1%. Yeah, but the general view, or the general society of men, right? Vulnerability is a liability. So can we appreciate that? But also, can we also, what is a realistic way that we can be able to foster communities, right? That we can be able to, let's say, how can we actually realistically have vulnerability, but also still be men? Is it possible? Is a question. Hey, you have a but
No, it's
there's so many
actually very
views.
fine. I'm in the same line that you are in. I think there is a need to find a balance between the unpopularity brought about men not being vulnerable, or a need for them to actually speak up. Okay, because I've had scenarios with my dad where he actually chooses not to tell some things to us, even if they concern the whole family. But as a child, after some time, I just realized that he's trying to shield me from some of the realities of life because I am not ready, probably, to actually take that kind of information in. A man is built to lead, and part of this leadership comes with him having to shield the people around him. So it's not fully being a lack of vulnerability among men, but there is actually a stronger and bold need for some of these things to be done. That's why I believe there needs to be a balance between the way we all phrase the word unpopular opinions about men's mental health. Thank you.
Okay, valid. Before we hear from her, I just want to, just a little response to that, right? I think there's something that we need to understand about emotions, right? Especially when we're talking about the whole concept of vulnerability, right? Emotions need motion, right? They'll eventually get out. That's why you hear men saying, oh, I find it like they'll resort to other things, right? But it's just a form of escapism from dealing with that emotion that they're feeling. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? Did I lose you? Okay. I come again. I said that emotions need motion, right? They will eventually get out. So I think that's something, first of all, that's something that men need to acknowledge, that emotions need to be dealt with, right? Maybe we, as the other parties, need to understand that perhaps men don't deal with their emotions the way that we expect them to. Does that make sense? Okay, I want to hear more on your takes on that. So I think I have a hand there. Okay, I think let's first hear from her, then, okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. So I just want to address something that Manzi said. He said the question he was asking, how can men be vulnerable?
Can I repeat it again? Maybe?
Yes, okay.
Because my question was the vulnerability aspect, right? Is when we talk about men's mental health, we want men to be vulnerable, right? But can a man realistically still show up as a man? Because you're supposed to lead. You talk about leading. You're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be a support system. But the same support system wanted to be vulnerable with you. So how do you reconcile the two realities of having to show up as a man, but also have to be vulnerable?
I think it would take a mindset shift, right? Because, for instance, I have male friends. Now, when they come to me with heavy things, I don't want to make them feel like they're weak, right? Because if anything, it takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable. So it would be a mindset shift of, if someone is vulnerable, if a man is vulnerable with you, this is him being strong and opening up about it, not keeping it to himself.
Okay, I just want, maybe the men in the house can help me. Hey, I need support. I need support. I want men in the house. Okay, if you're comfortable, let's raise your hand if you have more than, okay, if you have one person you can tell anything, no matter how vulnerable it is.
Text time.
Yeah, whatever is deep, that they're broken up, they're broken your heart, it's okay.
Next time, bro.
How many of you have more than 3 people?
More than 3.
How many of you have more than 5 people?
More than 3 people. What? How is that guy?
We should first clap for him.
Why is he telling more than 5 people? You should be clapping for him.
First clap for him.
But if the guy has
Okay,
like
most of you guys put down your hands on more than 3 people, right? Those 3 people, how many of them are girls of the opposite sex? Okay, just raise up your hand if one of them is a female.
What do you mean one of them?
So out of the 3 people, we have
My mother
the
can't
possibility
count.
that one of them is a female, right? All of them, we have a ninja saying all of them are females,
Yeah.
right?
All of them are female, bro.
How many have 2 people, females?
Bro, literally all of them are female.
Okay, so we're zeroing it down to 2 females. So 2 females, 1 male. More. Oh, you have more than. Okay. So what am I trying to drive at, right? You realize that men are opening up, but men are opening up to women, not other men. Okay, men are opening up. Okay, men are not opening up. That's the first thing, because we all said we don't have more than 5. Then men are opening up to half of them are females, right? Or all of them are females, right? So men are not having conversations about these things, and then also if they're having conversations about these things, they're not having those conversations with fellow men. They're having those conversations with females. Maybe you have something to say about that.
I think for me that would put into question. Okay, men, don't get angry with this, but I think that makes me question the authenticity of friendship, right? Male friendships, particularly. Thank you, sister. Flag it. So yeah, it makes me question the authenticity of male friendships, because if you cannot have these kinds of conversations in your friend groups with your men, what are you doing with your friendships, right? You have an answer for me? Okay, please be my guest. Be my guest. Do tell.
I think there are some men who have been offended. I'm seeing some men there. They are there. They're about to form a community where they're going to just come together in solidarity against the things that are being said right now. Please share before you form the community.
Well, you posed the question on the authenticity of men friendships, okay?
Yeah.
So, men do life differently, by the way, okay?
Okay.
We talk about things, okay? I understand you actually said that emotions have to be dealt with emotions. Now, this is how men friendship.
No. Let me correct that a bit.
Okay.
I didn't say emotions have to be dealt with emotions.
Okay.
I simply said emotions have to be dealt with.
It's perfect. It's fine. Thank you for the correction. Anyways, this is how men do their friendship jazz, okay?
Okay.
When a man tells a fellow man what the issue is, the man does not just talk. The man comes up with a solution. He speaks with action, most of it. You feel me? So come to me. I'm being honest, okay? Come to me. You have an issue about this, and I'm like, oh, I have a way to this. Is it monetary? Is it, But then I want to go to the point of just speaking up about issues, okay? We all are talking about mental health, and we have to appreciate the fact that speaking up, okay, also comes with merely listening, okay? So even if we may say that most of the people we talk our things openly to are maybe women or whatnot, but I want to be honest with you. Men talk. When you meet them in places like this, boozing or whatever they are doing, depending anyways on the social life they live or lead, okay? But I will actually tell you that men friendships are actually good as well. Thank you.
Okay, valid. Can we hear from another man and just see if this is the general overview?
So, the question is, why do we have the male friendships?
No, that's not the question.
What's the question?
The question is, it's not, okay. I'm questioning male friendships if I'm questioning the authenticity of male friendships.
Yes.
If you people do not have conversations about, if people open up to mostly females, right? If you're not able to have conversations about the things that are hurting you with your male friends, but resort to sharing them with females. They are,
Alright.
yeah.
I'm going to answer it in the simplest way possible so that you can get it. When you're answering to a man, or when you're talking to a man, fellow men, will hear you out because we do go through the same things. But his answer is going to be a solution. It's not going to be him hearing you out. Coming to a lady, it's more of her hearing you out or accepting or giving you the emotional support you would want. Not her giving you a solution, that's the truth. But the man is going to tell it to you plain the way it is, regardless of how difficult it will be. Then, I don't know if the ladies do that because, okay, you support each other, which is not bad. But I think having the hard talk is quite difficult for women. You get? It's quite difficult for women. Yet men actually do it. So, if you're looking for the emotional support, kinda. Because the solution is already given to you. Yes.
I just want to ask you a counter question, just one counter question, because I'm
Yes.
hearing a lot of, when you talk to fellow men, you get solutions. So how about things that do not necessarily require solutions?
That's when you go to the woman.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Do you now get what I'm saying?
no, I'm giving you the way it is. That, okay, she also has a solution, which is right, but she will listen to you. Basically, I don't know, she will give you the time, which will make more sense. But other than that, the main friends actually, I believe, they're greater because you actually have the hard talk. He will tell you, bro, either if you're saying that this babe is making me broke, then he will tell you either go and make more money so you can sustain her, or break up. Then you go to a lady, probably I'm just suggesting, she'll tell you, oh, you guys can work, the love is stronger, keep pushing.
Ladies, they're coming for
That's
you.
what I'm saying. And okay, there might be one who'll tell you you actually need to work hard, but she'll hear you out and be more positive about it. That's all I can say.
Okay. Maybe before we go to Conrad, because Conrad had something he wants to say. Because I feel like if we start questioning the male friendships, people are going to defend themselves. We will spend there the whole night. So let us jump into something else, right? Talk about men's mental health. I just want us to be able to maybe talk about, maybe suggest or give examples of the struggle that men go through. Because I think when we start talking about them, men should start realizing whether we're actually solving them or we're just dealing with the trauma. We're just sleeping with the trauma. You understand? So maybe Conrad can share his what he wanted to share. He had some 2 cents what he wanted to share. Then maybe in the public, hi guys, are we here? Are we in it? We're in it? Yeah. So I need guys to be able to help me share the men's mental health. Okay, what are the struggles that men go through that affect their mental health? And then we can move on from that. Yes, Conrad, you had some 2 cents. You had some 2 cents to share earlier. Maybe you can first share, then we can move to that. Yeah.
Thought I was the one starting that. Anyway, I think my observation, I've just thought about it deeply now. I was telling her, okay? But I think Linda is right.
You think she's right?
Yes, I just deeply thought about it. Listen.
Who are clapping? The ladies.
Why? Because
So you have
I think
betrayed
it's
your
due to-
gender. You have betrayed your gender.
no.
Yeah.
Listen, I've said I think we're two different people, men and women.
Yeah.
We're biologically engineered differently. Men will tend to offer solutions more, yeah, and women will hear you out more, because even women themselves. This is why most times a baby will be annoyed at you and you'll never understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't get mad in the same way. Yeah, maybe you're not giving attention. I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. You don't know. You don't understand. Those
I don't know. My track record is terrible.
That's not your
I'm not one to
cup
speak.
of tea. That
but
is not where you specialize.
yes,
Yeah.
but what I can say is I've just deeply thought about it, because when someone comes to me with a problem,
Yeah.
the first thing I'm going to do is say, okay, how do we
How
get
do
out
we
of
solve
it?
this? We are
Yeah.
looking for solutions.
Those things of hearing you out, my friend, the world is
Yeah.
moving.
We don't have time.
Yes.
We don't have time to waste
Like
time.
I've deeply thought about it. That's my first thought. However, sometimes I think it helps more for that person to just pour out to, even if they're going to cry or
Pour.
whatever. I don't know. That may have more significance and help them more than those solutions you're giving to an extent. Because some people just want to be heard, not being given solutions. So I think it's a serious distinction between men and women. And when you look at men's mental health and opening up, I think a key thing is opening up about what?
Yeah.
I can open up to you about how coursework is stressing me.
What you?
Yeah. But other things, honestly.
Other things, if you
like how? You get what I'm saying? Eh? Like, we're opening up about what?
certain things.
Yeah, certain things
But
I
there are
think are a bit more
certain things
difficult.
that stay locked away.
Exactly.
Even under lock and key. We're not going to talk
but I can
about
tell you how
that.
coursework things are not sour.
And tell me how you can tell us how you're broke.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
done.
that's an interesting take. It reminds me of something. I think I was having a conversation with a friend. Yes, Laroque, you have something to share?
Yes,
You can first
He has
continue.
something to say. First,
Yes.
no. First, shut us up. First, shut us up. I think he was going to share struggles.
Wait.
And we're about to miss that. Please, proceed.
Want to share what?
Cancel, proceed.
Struggle. Anyway, I think that's really true. I was having a conversation with someone because we were preparing for this topic of mental health, right?
Yeah.
And I tried to hear someone out. And they said opening about different things obviously results into certain responses, right? And I'm going to touch a very dicey topic. The person was talking about addiction in its sense. You get, hey, it's that serious. Who they are, right? And there are things you wouldn't expect that particular person to be suffering from. You get, because, oh, Laroque has put up an image of himself, or Conrad has put up an image of himself, you get. So opening up about that particular thing means you're going to begin to see that person in a different way. You get, if I open up about coursework, you get, the perspective you have of who Laroque is not going to change. I don't know if that makes sense, you get. But if Laroque comes and says that I'm struggling with this kind of addiction, you're going to be like, what? Like that's your first response. And many times people don't realize that alone causes someone to go inside again. You get, because even though after that you're going to say, okay, let's solve it, let's what, but that first reaction of you get, it's going to force someone to go into that place. And I'm not just saying this from a place of we are assuming, because I think we had that debate earlier on, that are we just basing this off one person?
Yeah.
But I believe if we are being vulnerable today enough, many people can attest to such a situation, you get. And I think it's something we have to be able to acknowledge as well, you get. Also, I think there are things that we struggle with that I think generally women can't understand. And yeah, it sounds controversial, but yes, if I tell you that
is very true.
yes, let me tell you, the way being broke affects you, Linda, is not the way being broke affects me. I can be broke and I say I'm not going for lectures this week. I have to go and make money. How many ladies can do that? You get. Let's be honest. No, it's a conversation worth having. Let's be honest. You get, because we have been brought up in such a way. You get that at the end of the day, there's a mentality of the 4 P's, right? A man has to provide, a man has to perform, a man has to pay, a man has to protect. You get. So how are you going to do that if you don't have a certain level of maybe financial mass? Or you get. And also there's that standard basically to which we have been held. So when I come and tell you, Linda, that, man, I am struggling, I need money, and then you tell me, man, let's pray about it. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm a Christian, you get. But you guys understand, let's be honest, some of these things, when someone gives you that first response of, I think let's pray about it, you begin to really sit down and be like, this person doesn't get where I'm coming from, you get. They really don't get it.
Yeah.
And I think what has made it very evident in this season, and that's why I think unpopular opinion is that men's mental health is very performative. It's June. Many people have been in boxing and saying, it's men's mental health month. Are you okay? Can we check on you? And so you test them you bring some conversations. You want to see like, this person being performative, or are they actually interested in solving an issue here? And you begin to realize how unable certain people are to process certain problems, you get, because it doesn't really affect them in the same sense. So I think that's a conversation worth having, you get. When you want me to open up about how finances are affecting me as Laroque, will you really understand, you get, or are we just going to sit down and let's pray about it? You get the aspect from which I'm coming from.
I do.
Yeah.
I think I hear you. It's just something that you said that I want to tackle, right? I was actually taking notes because I want to come correct. I want to come correct. You talked about, I think it's a two-part conversation, because you talked about being vulnerable and then someone just tells you, okay, let's pray about it, right? I think it's a two-part conversation. I think it's important to ask us as women, I think it's important to ask ourselves, okay, how do men want to feel supported? Because I think, first of all, this conversation is important because, one, there's a mental health crisis. Two, suicide rates are up because of these kinds of things. Because you think you're okay, right? You think not opening up is just, like I can figure this out, right? Okay, so then why are we having a mental health crisis? Why are the suicide rates up, right? Now, thank you. Who's that girl in the back? High five from here. Thank you. So I think it's important. One, it's important to ask the question, how do men want to be supported? Because it's not just about us. I think, first of all, we have to remove ourselves from the conversation about men. Not remove ourselves, but not make it about us. It's about the man, right? How does he want to feel supported? That's the first question that we have to ask ourselves. Another thing is, we should discuss our character in reception of the information that men give us. Because he said something about talking to someone and they make you feel like, that sort of thing. So we should ask ourselves, it's a two-part conversation. It's not just us talking about, okay, men should open up, but one, how are we receiving that information as the people that they're opening up to? Maybe that's why they're shunning our help away, right? So it's also a clarion call for us as women, right? Okay, let's check ourselves. Are we being, I think, let me just share this. I think for me as an individual, I've had moments, I'm going to be extremely honest with everyone here. I've had moments where, okay, back before I went through, back then, not now. I think I'm a renewed person, but back then, when I would hear like someone, it's actually a funny story. There's a show that I like. It's called Big Brother. Anyone watches Big Brother here? Okay, do you know a housemate who was called Soma?
Manzi.
You know Soma? You know Soma? Really? Okay. So in the house, Soma used to cry a lot. Soma is a man. He used to cry a lot. I think he had like a ton of, I think a lot of stuff used to affect him. And I remember telling myself, but this guy is a man. Why is he, But then now I'm listening to myself and we're having the conversation about, okay, men need to be more open about but now we also need to check ourselves, right? Because I think we have those stereotypes within us. That's why men will continue to be like this. Because we already, you'll tell a man, you'll be talking about it and you're like, okay, men should open up about their feelings and all of these things. But the way you receive that information, the things that you already believe about men, do you get what I'm saying? I hope I'm not confusing anyone. Yes. We need to check ourselves and what the things that we believe about men, because I think we believe, okay, a man shouldn't cry. As women, we have those toxic, the way that we think about men. So I think that it's a two-part conversation. If we're telling men, okay, open up, okay, we also need to fix the way we receive the information that they're telling us about. Does that make sense? Okay.
Maybe, okay, that's beautiful. Guys, clap for Linda. She said a lot of things. But, just, I think I'm going off a tangent on what Laroque said, right? You talk about us reorienting our approaches, right? And also addressing the stereotype that we have about men. I think for men themselves, there are some struggles that are okay to be shared. And there are some struggles that you cannot even talk about. We talked about addiction. Some addictions are popular, right? So if I come and tell my boys that maybe I'm finding myself addicted to alcohol, they'll be like, we can help you. You just have to make sure that you don't go to Bandali as often. Maybe when the guys are bringing the shots for you, we're going to make sure you don't take anything, right? But if I come and tell, I don't know, maybe before I even go into that, for the men, the men, are we here?
Yeah.
I say, woo. But yeah, for the men, how many of you have had a friend who has come to you and told you that they are addicted to pornography?
You can ask the women.
So out of like, we're counting like how many men? Baby pretty, we're not But yeah, we're having 2 people in the house who are putting up their hands, right? But some friend of mine was sharing with me a very, very interesting statistic that I think either he said 9 or 8 in 10 men who are, I think, in the ages of 20 have had an interaction which has most likely progressed to an addiction in pornography. And the ones who are not in the 8 or 9 are just not honest about it. Right? So we're looking at very many men who are dealing with a very big problem, but out of all the men we have here, only 2 men have been able to have a friend who has shared about it. So there are certain struggles we're not talking about. But let me allow my very good friend Kutesa David to share his very strong point.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. What I want you guys to, or some of you guys to realize that sometimes guys can decide to numb their emotions to first solve the issue at hand. Because, okay, imagine this. Let me put you in a scenario. You grow up in a home where you feel like your parents love a certain sibling more than you. And I know it sounds very funny, but our kids is very serious. By the way, it's actually very serious. It can really affect you in so many ways. So what do? You cannot open up to your parents who are wishing praise to you, like maybe your older sibling or your younger sibling, and then be like, man, I want to be loved. You're not loving me. You get? It's quite absurd. Okay, for some people, yeah. I don't. People have different opinions.
It's a safe space. No one's going to. Yes.
What you decide to do, you say, okay, Sawa, how can I prove to them that I'm better? So you put yourself in a position where you're trying to outperform as much as possible.
Yeah.
And over the years, it can actually drain you. So it reaches a point where you feel like, you know what? Okay, it can reach a point where it can lead to suicide because it starts as a small thing because you've started when you're like 7, 8 years old and you reach a point where, you know what? You're like 20 and you're like, bro, what's the point anymore?
Exactly.
But at the same time, the reason why sometimes you can be put in a scenario, let's say you put a scenario, you haven't read for a paper, your paper is in like 3 days or 2 days or even the next day. And you really don't want to be in a position where you allow yourself to break down because what's the point? It's not going to solve the fact that you won't solve the fact that you have a paper tomorrow and you're not ready. What you decide to do is be like, Sawa, chill that aside, solve the problem at hand, finish it, deal with it after. But most people, what they do, they decide to find another project to find a way to numb the feeling again.
Yeah.
And it repeats over and over and over again. Some guys decide to, you know what, after going through the season that they have to go through, they talk to someone about it. But I know like 70 or 60% of the times that people go through such scenarios or hardships, they decide to, just numb it. It felt good that they didn't feel anything. So they repeat it again.
Yeah.
And also, it puts you in a position where imagine, okay, I don't know if you guys are looking that far ahead, but imagine you're married.
We are trying, sir. We are trying to look
or you're in a relationship, yeah?
Please.
And you are put in a scenario where, okay, things need to be done, and you have to be you're in a position where you're the one in charge. Let's put it like, okay, let's put it in a home situation. You've made a bad deal, you've made a bad decision that affects everyone. Why would you tell your significant other about it? And then you have to deal with 2 problems, trying to make her feel secure and be like, it's going to be okay, and then dealing with the problem as well. So you decide to, you know what, keep quiet, solve the issue at hand, tell her after, when everything is okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But just sharing that side of the story as well. Thank you.
Guys, please give David a round of applause. For those who know David, they know he's a one of a kind man. Part of the 1%, definitely part of the 1%. But I want, I think continuing the question, because I still want to hear what people term as struggles that men go through. I want to hear those struggles because I think we've touched a bit on addiction, we've touched a bit on maybe finances, money. Money is our biggest problem, but I want to hear other kinds of struggles that people may have, men may have.
Now, the question at heart is not. Sit on. Now, the interesting thing is here that the struggles may not be the necessary part, because yesterday I was talking to La Roque about a meme I saw, and they said that some people go into podcasts and unleash information that SFC would not beat out of me. So we already established that some things you can't come out and say in the light, because as she had said, some questions are necessary to ask, like how should a female put their character, organize themselves to take the information that the person is going to give them. And it becomes very difficult. We're in a generation where the agenda was men this, women that. So sometimes even a man is going to be a little bit skeptical on who they're going to talk about what, because maybe they know you for that person is a profound feminist. My idea may not go through, or this person is like this. And there may not be necessarily something wrong with your issue, because what's here is dealing with someone's mental health. So men may not necessarily come and tell you what they are going through, because some of the things they are going through a little bit, they can't really say it basing on however human you may feel towards them. You may not see them the same, because it's an actual struggle. When we talk about pornography, like Toa was talking to him, there are some people you're going to talk about pornography, and before they can even notice that it's something you're struggling with, and that's why you're telling them that you're already being cited as a predator. Someone is looking at you like, this is what you're actually doing in your free time. So it's people, like, someone is quick to leave the idea that it's an actual struggle that someone is going through, and looking at what potential person they think of this person after them saying something like that. You hear people talking about, like you open up your phone and you hear this person on a podcast talking about masturbation, and then you see the memes that come after, and people are like, like, was this person paid to go and say this? But like, they were under the idea that they're sharing something that could change how people see something or feel about something, and they have decided that for them they want to share their story. But the reaction alone on social media, if another fellow boy who's probably struggling with the same thing looks at it, then they will know that I may not necessarily talk about this, because we have to understand that some of these things people take them in and they may not show you, but they may perceive you as someone else. So what the person is struggling with may not necessarily be the issue, but how you perceive the person, or in what spirit have they come to tell you this. Are you able to keep that information in confidence and find a way to help them, or you tell them, I hear you, but in actual sense you're not willing to help them?
We're wrapping up, I think. We're wrapping up. Oh, we have one more opinion. You want to share something? Okay, just one quick one, and then we call it a day.
All right, thank you for this opportunity. So mine is not a struggle, but I would like to offer a solution. May I? All right. So first of all, I want to honor every gentleman that has shared the struggles they go through. But there is something that I would like to say. Now, I want us, okay, allow me, just allow me. I cannot but speak. Praise the Lord. Now, I want to give a solution which is often ignored. And this is the solution, all right? One thing that we forget, I would like to have everyone's attention. One thing that we forget is that there is no test, there is no temptation, there is no struggle that you go through that is not common among men.
Amen.
That is very important for us to understand. There is no test that I'm going to go through that someone else hasn't gone through, all right? Now, what is the solution? And because of that Bible verse, we do not forget, it continues to say that God is faithful, all right?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to say, Pete, you're bringing in the God aspect. I have to.
Yes.
So, this is the solution. God has made man to be helped by man, all right? And in all of this, we should remember that the testimony that another man bears is able to make me go through what I am struggling to overcome.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That is why the Bible tells you that there is no test, no, let me get your attention, no struggle. Even if it is a woman, even if it is a man, there is nothing that you're going through that no other person has gone through. So, you may say that women's opinion is just often emotional, it's just often, I don't know, inferior in any way you may take it. But remember, the gentlemen have told us that they listen and talk to fellow women. To women, all right? Forgive me. So the males talk to women, all right? That means in our circles, Pretty knows a testimony another man told her which can help you, all right? It may not be a tangible solution, but it is enough to carry you through what you are going through in the moment, all right? If I know that something worked for La Roque, all right, and you come and tell me, Manzi, and I tell you, it is now on your part to do your part, to know that someone has overcome, and so I can overcome. Even before we go into these tangible solutions,
Yeah.
you really need to be motivated to come out of something. Now you're going to be like, now this is in a place of addiction. Now what about the financial aspect? I know.
Where is the money going to come from?
Where is the money going to come from? And that is why women are in your circles. We are very generous people.
Wow. Hey, yo.
We
Women
are.
first, clap for yourselves.
Yeah, so
Yeah. You say next to a woman, just
yes.
smile.
So please feel free to reach out. Not reach
Yeah.
out as though we are going to donate, but as friends, all right? And keep that in your mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. We clap for sense. We clap for sense, and that's a great point that she's been able to share. So we're wrapping up this conversation, and me and Linda had a very fun way that we thought we should just wrap up. How we think that we should just wrap up this thing, right? So if I say next to a man, even if you're a man, say next to a man, which I'm seeing is a popular trend. Say next to a man, stand up. Say next to a man, guys. Stand up. You need to say next to a man, stand up. If you're two men, both of you stand up. If you're four men, stand up together. I'm going to say next to a man, stand up. Give him a very, very warm hug. They're going through a lot. Give them a It's a strict regime. Give them a hug. Oh. Give them a hug. A very innocent one, by the way. Yeah. Hug them. Tell them that you love them. Okay. Yeah. Maybe don't go as far as that, but tell them that that they will be okay. That things will work out, right? And guys, it may seem like a joke, right? But it's a serious thing. The serious stigma we're trying to rewrite. And I'll hand over to Linda to send you guys off, but I've been Manzi, right? Very privileged to host this conversation.
Thank you, Manzi, for having me. And I love the fact that I think something important that Rook says all the time is the important thing is to start the conversation. So we may not find a solution right now. Men might not start being open about stuff right now, but we're having the conversation, right? We've started. We've officially started the conversation. So go in your circles, talk about, as women, talk about how do we support the men in our lives, right? As men, be more authentic in your friendships. Whether or not you think that, you can be open to your bros about stuff, just, get the courage to do so. Otherwise, I wish you guys the best. I think your mental health, regardless of whether you're a man, regardless of whether you're a woman, is something that you should prioritize. Thank you very much. My name is Apollot Linda Grace.
Yeah, we're signing out. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.